Hello horror fans, I'm Jeffrey, and today I'm going to review the three Chucky films, the Chucky Trilogy, as I like to call it. I already reviewed Child's Play 1 through 3. It was the first video I ever did, so I felt that it was time to come back to that franchise and review the last three. First up, Bride of Chucky. Bride of Chucky is the 10th anniversary film, and it is not like any other 10th anniversary film that you've seen that actually does it right. Like Halloween 4, where they brought back Michael Myers, the town of Haddonfield, Dr. Loomis, and they really did a good 10th anniversary film. They even, homaged the first scene in the first Halloween, with Michael killing his sister, and they did it in the very end of Halloween 4. And in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, they brought back Heather Langenkamp and John Saxton, and even showed clips of the first movie and stuff like that in it. But this one, it completely ignores the other three movies. The only person that returns is Brad Dourif as Chucky, and it doesn't even mention any of the characters from the first one, when they could have brought back many of the first characters and stuff, but they don't. This one, it's a horror comedy, and not that I have a thing against horror comedies. I like horror comedies. You can tell from some of my other reviews, but I don't think Chucky needs to be in a horror comedy. Chucky worked fine where he was. He didn't need to be a self-parody horror comedy. Not that it's a bad horror comedy. It's just, like I said, Chucky doesn't need to be in one. But it was a success. I mean, it did really well. The story centers around Chucky's ex-girlfriend Tiffany resurrecting Chucky a few months, I guess, after the events in Child's Play 3, rather. And when he comes back, he's the same Chucky as he always is, wanting to get out of that body. But he also has a new look. I didn't mention that, all scarred up, because this is a bit of an homage, even though it's a self-parody film, comedy. It's an homage to Bride of Frankenstein, and so Chucky has stitches all up in his face, which is a very cool look. They could have really done Chucky scary, but instead they, with that look, instead they just decided to make it funny. And then so after he's resurrected, she does not take him to to get him out of the body. She just locks him up in a playpen, and he ends up taking a bride doll that she puts in there to taunt him, kills her, puts her in the body of the bride doll, and now they're both stuck in the body of dolls. And to get them out of this situation, they added this new thing called the Heart of Damballa, and that's supposed to transfer their souls out of the dolls into human bodies. So where was this in parts 2, 3? I don't know. It was something just invented, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because if you needed that amulet to use it to possess another body like the dolls or a human, how come Chucky didn't need it to transfer Tiffany's soul into the doll's body, and why didn't Tiffany have it whenever why didn't she need it whenever she brought Chucky back to life? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's basically just something to get them get the story moving, because they need to get it. Tiffany sort of cons her neighbor Jesse into taking the dolls, delivering it to the cemetery where it's buried with Chucky's corpse. He brings along his girlfriend Jade, played by Katherine Heigl, and as they're going through to from, I guess, Canada, it looked like Canada, to New Jersey, Chucky and Tiffany start to pile up bodies, and the kids get blamed. It's actually a pretty decent story, but the horror, the comedy ends up really hurting the horror, and there's not a whole lot of death scenes in it. There is one really interesting death scene involving Tiffany throwing a champagne bottle up to a mirror, ceiling mirror, and it shattering and killing a couple below it. That was really cool, but other than that particular standout one, there's not a whole lot of deaths. There's like 2 more. It's okay. but it's not really what I wanted as a 10th anniversary film. On to Seed of Chucky, which would have been the 5th one in the series. This one is even worse than Bride of Chucky. This time, the focus is on their son, Glenn, played by Billy Boyd. This is really bizarre. At the end of Bride of Chucky, Tiffany had a child, and it looked like a really cool creature. In this one, he's kind of aged a little bit, and he's very nice and everything. He's not an evil character, but he's looking for his parents, and he has the amulet that was shown in Bride of Chucky, and he sees that they're making a movie based on what Chucky and Tiffany did. Yeah, they're making a movie based on Bride of Chucky, and it's really bizarre. I don't know what to say about it. I just hate the idea that they start making it all Hollywood at this point. So stupid. And he ends up going to find the Chucky and Tiffany dolls from the movie, and he somehow brings the souls of the real Chucky and Tiffany into those dolls. I don't get it. I don't know how he did it, but that fuels the rest of the movie. It doesn't make any sense because those weren't their original bodies or anything. The rest of the movie just really consists of Tiffany wanting to possess Jennifer Tilly, the actress who plays Tiffany as well. And it's just, oh god, this movie is dreadful. I can't even really talk about it without just feeling pain. Redman is also in it. I really hate when they do this, when they put a rapper in there just to throw it in. It's a pop horror thing. I always hated that. He's okay in the movie, but he just does not need to be in a Child's Play movie. But, then again, this isn't a Child's Play movie. It's just a Chucky movie. And that really makes me mad. This movie was terrible. It didn't do well. I mean, it did terrible. And it is terrible. But there is hope. There is the 25th anniversary film, Curse of Chucky. Now, this one is actually pretty good. I've heard a lot of people review this, and they, a lot of people say it's slow and everything. It's a bit of a return to form. It's got about the pace that the first Child's Play did. Unfortunately, they really went back to the first one, which is fine for me. I was really liking that because I was so used to, at this point, we're so used to the horror comedy that was like just boom in your face. This one's like, no, we're going to take our time, really get you to go, yeah, this isn't a comedy. This is going to be a horror film. It's going to be what you really want. And so it builds and it builds until we actually see Chucky for the first time. And in this one, Chucky does, don't want to give too many spoilers if you haven't seen it, because it really is a good movie and it's good to see it like that. Chucky does have both looks in it. That's about as much as I'll say on it. He does look like he did in the first movie, and underneath it he's got the scars. But it's a surprise, I guess. I hope that didn't spoil it to you for you, anyways. But the story in this one is that basically Chucky's going ties up some loose ends, and has himself delivered to this house where this girl is in a wheelchair. He kills the girl's mother, and then he's going to kill everybody that comes in to the house. Really cool movie. Definitely worth checking out. I don't want to say any too much about it, but I will say there is a end credit scene that should be actually the ending of the movie. I don't know why they put it at the very end of the credits. It should be right there before the credits. A little bit of really showing that it is the 25th anniversary film and brings back an actor from the first movie. So check that one out. That one's a good one. Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, they're definitely not my favorites, but they are part of the series, and I do have them on the box set. Thank you for watching my review. I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.